Just like the topic of our meeting today says, our voice, if we are fortunate to have one, is a very powerful tool. We can use it to put emotion into what we're saying. We can use it to grab attention. We can use our voice to elicit some empathy and understanding between the speaker and the audience. And all around, we just want to make it a much better show. Today, I'm going to talk to you about vocal variety. The speech crafters have an advantage to go into their workbooks and look at some information about vocal variety. I've dropped a handout in the chat for those of you who are online, and I'll get Connie to hand out the handout later on and distribute to everybody so they have a copy of it as well. So this handout provides a little bit more tips than I have time to go into today. But I want to first, I opened up with talking about why vocal variety is important. Then I'll focus on 4 devices that we'll use that can help you communicate your message, the 4 Ps, and conclude with ways that you can improve and get better. So the first P in the 4 Ps is pace. This is the speed that you talk at, your speaking rate. Varying your speaking rate, if you speed up, it can enhance the emotion in a dramatic story. What's happening next? Or slowing down. Really emphasize a point or calmness or thought. The second of the 4 Ps is your pitch. And Connie gave us a really good example of pitch. This is the frequency of the sound that you emit. And some people get a little aggravated at different pitches of voices. If it's really high and screechy, it could be like nails on a scratch board for some people, on a chalkboard, sorry. We're looking for mellow, cool tones that may be more relaxing, maybe too relaxing for some people. So your pitch is that frequency or the sound that you emit. And I'm not going to get into all the science behind sound, but if there is an expert you'd like to learn from, Julian Treasure was a presenter at one of the international conventions for Toastmasters, and he has a TED talk on the power of sound. So once again, his name is Julian Treasure. I encourage you to look it up. It's a magnificent science. The third P I'm going to talk about is power. And this is what we're referring to volume, but also how you emanate the breath that comes from your diaphragm out. If you get excited, you usually talk a little bit louder and get really excited. But when you're thinking or you want to build some intimacy with your audience, you want to share a secret, you might go a little bit softer. It just helps reinforce your message. And the final P, the 4th P, are pauses. What do you mean pauses? You're not doing anything. Why would that even be a vocal variety device? That's it. The lack of sound can be just as powerful as the sound itself. Those pauses in between your points or your statements allows the audience some time to transition into the next one. It also gives the audience some time to reflect and get lost in their own thoughts. So if you made a very impactful statement, you might just want to sit there and let the audience reflect on, hey, what does that mean to me? Or if you're said something funny, pause, let them laugh. Laughter is contagious. Once one person starts laughing, the next person starts laughing. Give them time to laugh and pause. So those are the 4 Ps that are included in your handout. The pace, so how fast you speak, your pitch, what range are you talking at? Are you high or are you low? The power, your volume, and pauses. Those are the 4 Ps. And you might be thinking to yourself, the way I speak, I have no control over it. I am just not that dynamic. I'm just not that energetic. You're right. Some people aren't, but you can practice and fake it until you make it. A couple of examples of things that I do to practice vocal variety. First of all is record yourself. Oh, it is so awkward. I know that, but it is a really good way to see how your variation is working. And if you're a Toastmasters member, you have access to a new feature called Udly, where you can record yourself and get some feedback. It talks about vocal variety as well. And if you want to push yourself outside of your comfort zone, spend some time with children and read them a book. You cannot help but expand your vocal variety when you're speaking to little 2 or 3-year-olds, because that's about your only way you're going to be able to grab and hold their attention. Be a giant, be a dragon, and just practice and get yourself out of your comfort zone. So with that, I am excited to see you guys practice your vocal variety. We heard some good examples here today, and into the future, just push yourself a little bit outside of your comfort zone. Again, your voice and your message needs to be heard. Make sure it's saying what you intended it to. Back to you, Toastmaster.